video, I'll be taking why people keep using you and dumping you. A lot of time I hear people saying, I'm being used and dumped, I'm being used and dumped. So I was like, okay, why do people really use people and dump people? Why is it that people are being used and dumped? If you're interested in this topic, sit back, relax while I take you through this topic. Welcome back. This is Lizzie. I'll be taking why people keep using and dumping you. The number one reason people keep using people and dumping people is when they are vulnerable. When you are vulnerable, people will use you and dump you. Vulnerability puts you in a position where people can hurt you, where people or other people can hurt you. So, what makes you vulnerable? When you cannot say no. When you can say no to some certain things. When people want you to do things for them and you feel like, oh, and deep inside of you, you know you can't do it. Instead of you to say, I can't do it, you say yourself, yes. Whatever they bring to you, yes, you will do it. Yes, you will do. Everything they bring to you, yes, is always yes. So if your answer is always yes to everybody's request, people will use you and dump you. They see you as you are so easy to come by. Yes, they see you as so easy to to do anything with. Means anything goes with you. So if you cannot say no, people will use you and dump you. And another reason that makes you vulnerable is when you release so much information of yourself to people. A lot of times we release too much information about ourselves to people. We tell them so many things about us, our financial status, our marital status, marriage, or our status. We tell them things that we've done in the past that they shouldn't even be hearing. So when you release so much information about you to people, too much information, you become vulnerable to them. Stop releasing information to people. Stop release too much of yourself to people. When you meet people bit by bit, you have to release yourself bit by bit. Not there are some people you meet there, they will tell you everything about themselves in one day, which is very, very wrong. You don't know the mindset of the person you're discussing with. If you don't know if the person is so mature to undo whatever you are telling him or her. So stop releasing too much of your information to people, please. Another thing that makes you so vulnerable, to people is when people notice that you have low self-esteem. When people notice that you have low self-esteem, people will use you and dump you. Carry yourself with confidence anywhere you go. Build up your self-esteem. Whenever you're going out, whenever you're going out, build up yourself. As in, build up yourself so that whenever you're going out, you will carry yourself with poise, no matter who you are. Whether you're slim, you're fat, whether you are ugly or you're beautiful, carry yourself with confidence to anywhere you go. When you're going out on your date, carry yourself with confidence. Don't let anybody tell you negative things. Another way people use people and dump them is when they play victim. Some people can play victim. They can play victim. They call them narcissists. They can play victim. They refuse to take responsibility for their action. They refuse to take their wrongdoing. They will refuse to accept their imperfection. They refuse to accept their wrongdoing. But rather they choose to be playing victim. Nobody wants to stand around people who play victim. Nobody wants to stay around narcissists. Go and check it. If you're a narcissist, people will leave you. Stop being narcissist. Begin to take responsibility for your action. Begin to take your imperfection. Accept your wrongdoings. Accept your own doings. So stop being a narcissist. Stop playing victim. Own up to your responsibility. Own up to your responsibility. That is how it should be. So when you are always playing victim, people will use you and dump you. They will use you and they will dump you. Or another reason people use and dump people is when they are lazy. Lazy people. Nobody wants to be around lazy people. If you are lazy, my brother, my sister, people will use you and dump you. People will leave you. They will leave you. And one thing about lazy people, they can use their mouth to build skyscrapers. They can use their mouth to build the world. But then, getting involved themselves, you will not see them. Lazy people, they are the ones that will advise you. They will give you advice. The advice that they can't take for themselves, they'll be giving it out to people. They will say, you do it this way, do it that way. They'll be advising you for the advice they cannot take for themselves. If the advice is working for their life, they will not have been where they are. So I pity people that take advice from people like them. Lazy. They can give advice. They are the ones who knows the right thing to do. They will like, if it's me, such thing can never happen to me. I will do it this way. I will do it this way. They wait and see if that thing happens to them. You see that they'll be so devastated. They'll be crying like babies. Lazy people. For them to do things for themselves. No, they're waiting for somebody to do it for them. What they know they can do for themselves, they don't want to do it, but they'll wait for people to do it for them. So such kind of people will use them and dump them. People will use them and dump them. So if you're a lazy person, people will use you and dump you. Another reason people use you and dump you is when you are emotional. Hey, emotional people are used. They always use you. Stop being emotional. Start thinking. Learn to think from here. Start learning to be logical. Think from here, not from here. Most of the decisions you take from here end up, in the wrong direction. But when you are logical here, you make the right decision. Learn to be logical. Don't be emotional all the time. You be so emotional all the time. Pick up your life and you move on with your life. And stop being emotional. Emotional people will use them more. And that is why we women, a lot of time we are being used. Because we are emotional people. As for me, I've learned not to be emotional. I've learned to be logical. When I say this is what I want, this is what I want. No matter how you try to talk me into doing the otherwise, it is this thing I want. And that is exactly what I want. If I say I want A and it's not A, my dear, forget. It has to be that A. Just say, let me just manage it like that. Let me just take it like that. If you manage it like that, next time they will bring another one lesser than that to you, and you have to keep accepting. But once they know that what you want is what you want, they will always do it. They want to do it exactly the way you want it. But if they did not do it the way you want it, and you're like, let me leave it, next time they will do it bad. Next time they will do it worse than the way they've done this very one. So don't be emotional. If you don't want people to keep using you and dumping you, see you on my next video. Bye.